Hey there, Stan. How's it going, mate? Can you hear me? If you get the chance to confirm that, that'd be really handy, mate. Just making sure everything's going live. Ah, brilliant. Thank you, Stan. How's it going, Gatus? Let's get this thing going. How's it going there, guys? Good to see you. Got a short live stream planned here. A little bit of time. Baby's asleep, so let's do a bit of this kind of stuff. Chill out together for a while and get some targets shot. I think that's the plan. So anyway, yeah, going to take you through setting up right the way through. Brilliant, nice and clear. Good to hear that, Stan. Thank you, mate. Alan, how's it going? Evening all. I have to say, living in the new community here, and some great images have been shared for sure. Absolutely, Alan. Yeah, I really want to talk about that some more actually as well, buddy. It's been really surprising. I can't believe the reception. As soon as people realised, hang on, I can share my images directly on this thing. It seems to have been a huge influx of them. It's pretty damn good. Gidus, is that correct? Sorry, I keep getting your name wrong, mate. It's I suppose forgivable. It is a pretty uncommon name, I would say. Maybe that's just me. What did you do with your hair? I've had a bit of a trim up, mate, to be honest, yeah. No stargazing for me, as I'm currently shipping. You're shipping lots of telescopes? Well, that's a good thing, mate, eh? If you're shipping them somewhere so you can get some more use out of them. Yeah, that's always a good thing. So I'm just running through, getting everything connected up. Mount, guider, camera. We need to unpark. Long E. Gidus? Gedus? You'll have to sound it out for me, mate. Sorry. I cut my hair also when I need to lose weight. Well, I don't need to lose any weight. I'm okay there, but yeah. I've had a bit of a trim. Gedus. So it's just to confirm, Gedus. Ardsley Astro, how's it going, buddy? Kinda like Ted, but Ged us. Yeah, got ya. That's fair enough, mate. So that's one rig sorted. I think I had a chance really last night to do just a very little bit of imaging. It was terrible, really. But I set up a new plan. I want to shoot M81, M82 with the Hyperstar rig. So hopefully we can try and get some frames on that tonight. And there's another reason we can do this early on as well. And I'll tell you about that too. Yeah, M81, M82, there we go. I did set up a sequence. So we can hit go on this. That all looks healthy. While that's just kicking off, tell you what I'll do. I'll pull across the other screen. Can just stretch this out a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see what's what. I'll try and pull the chat panel on screen in a minute as well when we're just having a chat and catching up and chilling out together. But this is the second rig now, the SQA55, and we're going to be running with the full frame camera, trying to capture the last few frames potentially. In fact, no, I'm going to change targets. I am going to go do rosette and cone. That's it. I was going to say I'm going to try and take a few more frames on the kind of wide field Orion project I've been working on. But there's no need, actually. I'll show you that as well. I've got a lot of stuff I can show you over the course of this stream. It's not going to be a too long one, but, you know, hopefully we can have some fun together. I will absolutely catch up properly on chat in a minute. JB, how's it going, bud? Howdy. Nice to see you here. I think, is this your first time in chat, JB? I think it is, or at least my poor old memory is telling me it is. Right. No rotator on this one, sadly. Would love that. I tell you what, I have been enjoying that rotator. I've got that up and running as well. You won't be able to see, of course, but here it is. It's just running on the ASI Air. I'm very much enjoying having a rotator. I'll say that. I'll be sad when ZWO asks for that one back. I think I'll have to just buy it at that point, basically. Here we go. I need to unpark this thing. Yeah, hey, yeah, nice one, mate. Thank you for joining in. It's always really nice to have fresh new folks in the chat. I do my best to try and remember people. It's not always that easy, but I'll try. Get some of that IFN with a Hyperstart, Gabe, mate. I would love to. Yeah, I really would. There's always a chance, isn't there? I do remember a few years back, I saw someone from similar conditions to me, Bottle 7 Skies. They posted on, I think, Cloudy Nights forum that they'd gone after on like a quest to try and capture the IFN around M81, M82 from their pretty poor skies, and it took them ages, but they were using a refractor, if memory is serving me correctly, so it might be a lot faster with this thing. I'm pretty sure I set up a sequence for this too. My memory's like a sieve these days. Let's just see. Load target. Yeah, Rosette and Cone. There we go. Let's kick that off as well. Won't be offended if you forget about me now, man. What kind of scope are you running? So I've got 2 scopes running tonight, mate. Well, 3 actually. So on the ASI Air rig, whoops, that's running just on my phone, so I'm keeping an eye on this separately to everything else. I've got a ZWO FF80, the 0.8 times reducer, which I'm preparing to try and make like a review video for. And that's paired up with the 2600 Air from ASI as well, so that's like a full ASI rig. And I've got that running on M81, M82 also, so I can hopefully run some sort of comparisons between a small refractor and a big old Hyperstar rig. Then on my main pier in Observatory, I've got a Celestron Edge HD11 with a Hyperstar V4 on the end of it, paired up with an APS-C sized one-shot colour camera from Player One. That's their Poseidon C Pro. That's rig number 2. That's also going to be M81, M82 like we talked about. I'll just hit go on this thing. And then rig number 3, which we're currently just setting up right now, that's on the back pier in the Observatory. That's got the Ascar SQA55. Gotta love that little scope. I really do. I'll show you why as well shortly. But I've got that paired up with a full frame camera and a dual narrowband filter. So I'm trying to capture huge swaths of nebulosity with that thing. And it's working out really well, I would say. So just while this is running and getting set up, I can try to find you some images. Hopefully it won't be too much of a pain. Pretty fresh stuff. Yes, here we are. So check this one out, mate. So this is 64 5-minute subs from the SQA full frame rig. And I have to say, it needs a little bit of an extra crop. There's some sort of glow going on the right hand side there, probably due to me and my processing techniques. But honestly, mate, I mean, even if you zoom right in, there's a ton of detail on this thing. It's such a sharp little telescope. It's magic. I've been able to really pull the core back as well on this due to the really deep full well capacity of those full frame cameras. And yeah, got all that in one big old shot from Bottle 7 Skies. That's all right. Loving the new hairstyle. Thank you, Simon. Yeah, I decided it was time for a bit of a freshen up, mate. So we've gone tiny little knot on the top. It's looking a bit wet because I've just washed it, but yeah, inspired by the Vikings show, you know what I mean? The focal length for this one, Lee, is 264, mate. So this is 264 with a full frame camera. And I'm pretty impressed. You know what I mean, bud? I think it's turned out good. Heck of a lot of nebulosity. All this sort of interesting features and such down there, which I've never ever shot before, to be honest with you. And a lot of background field too going on in between these two, which shows you that they are, at least they look to be, connected. Do you know what I mean? I like it. Normally you'd never capture all this stuff, you know what I mean? Because you're really going to go for the juicy bits, you know, like here and here. But interestingly as well, even with that dual narrowband filter, it did capture a little bit, admittedly not well, of M78 just down here. I'd like to go after that individually, I think, one night without a light pollution dual narrowband filter or anything. That really wants shooting in just UV IR cut. But I think that stands up lovely, to be honest. Yeah, the Orion in particular, it's good, I think. But that was 264, just 64 5-minute subs, so not a great deal of time poured into that thing, and it still came out rather nice. I'll show you the framing that we're going for, by the way. the Rosette and Cone Nebula, because I did take a couple of frames last night, but it clouded out so quick, couldn't really do anything useful. So these won't be the best frames you're ever going to see, but hopefully, if I can make sense of this, yeah, here we go. You can just pull up one of these, and one of these light frames should show us. Single 5-minute sub. Auto stretch, so there's no color balance going on or anything on this. This must have had cloud running through it. They probably all did, to be honest with you. We'll see. Yeah, this was before a meridian flip, but you can see it's noisy. Hey, there's Hubble's. Is that Hubble's variable nebula? Right there. But yeah, Cone, and if we can ever pan to the top corner, we'll get in there. Yeah, Rosette. Once that's got a few frames, though, I think that's going to look absolutely lovely. Hopefully, if we've got a lot less light pollution due to, you know, thin clouds and stuff not being present tonight. We will see. I'll move this just off onto my third monitor for a minute. Looks like our first couple subframes have came in on M81, M82. Not looking that great, to be honest. I'm wondering if there's perhaps some thin cloud, even though I'd hoped there wasn't. This kind of sucks. I'll try and catch up a little bit with chat anyway and see what's going on. Just pull this panel on so you can see where I'm catching up to. Hey there, Lee. Good to see you again, buddy. I reckon 11-inch of aperture. You could see some IFN show up in a couple of hours from yours, guys. Hope so, Gabe. Yeah, mate. I hope so. Hey, how's it going, Sean? Nice to see you again in another live stream, buddy. Thanks again, Simon. I think we saw that Lee were asking about the SQA55 image. In the shop, I always call the SQA55 the squass. Perhaps I accidentally called it that to a customer and they got confused. Now we're going with it now, mate. It's the squass. Shot's beautiful. Thank you, bud. Pretty new to it. A few months of experience maybe, but been making the most of your stuff. DIY, eh? Oh, that's awesome, mate. SQA85 is the squabs, naturally. Nice. So what are you going to call the 106 then, Gabe? Looking to do the same at 180. Yeah, that should look awesomely. At 180, I assume you're using one of the ASCAR FMA? Is it FMA 180? Think. I have to pick the chat panel back up. I always do this. And accidentally click off it. Numpty that I am. Just open this back up. Some pretty sweet dynamic range. Yeah, I was surprised, to be honest, mate, to be able to pull back all that car detail from Orion, especially with 5-minute subs. You know what I mean? Captain Tech Review was going to say that you look like Uhtred from Northumbria. Uhtred of Bebenberg. Destiny is all. Yes, mate. Oh, thank you. Need a bigger monitor. Yeah, to be honest, mate, I'm in two minds about it. I've got a 42, or is it 43, as my main monitor because it's just such a lovely panel. It's like an OLED. But at times I do think, is it just a bit too big? Because you can't comfortably sit like at a normal desk distance without really stretching to flick your eyes around the corners of the screen. So, I don't know, maybe a 32 would actually be optimal, potentially. Don't know. Just me talking nonsense once again. Casey, how's it going, Casey? At what age can a child learn PixInsight? How are you doing? I'm doing all right, buddy. Thank you for asking. I intend to find out that question, you know what I mean? As soon as Felix can start operating a PC, I think it's time to get him processing in PixInsight, you know what I mean? Nick Guy, how's it going, buddy? Hope Ascar will bring an SQA40 with an 180mm focal length for full frame. That would be sick, wouldn't it? Yeah. Good evening from Munich, Alexander. How's it going, Alex? Good to have you, buddy. SQA 106 is a squalog. I like it. FMA 180 Pro, nice. Yeah, I like the look of those, Lee. Are you finding it's a good scope? Danny, thank you, mate. How's it going, bud? It's lovely to have you here. As always, hope you and your kids and your family are keeping well. Really do, mate. Gabe says, oh, at Nick Guy. Sorry, I'm jumping in any conversation here. Trying to convince Ascar's owner that small scopes are where the market is at, and to bring back a successor to something like the Frath 300 to compete with the Red Cat. Yeah, I mean, my advice probably to people looking at getting started these days would likely change because of that scope. You know, like the SQA 55. If it's like in your budget, I'd much rather someone spend the money on something like that and get just an incredible smaller scope that can do so much because it is so sharp, than try and get more reach with a longer instrument that's maybe made a bit more cheaply. That's me. But yeah, I think there's so much value there with these smaller, shorter scopes now. It's unbelievable. He's more focused on big scopes currently and worried about C-stars taking away the small scope market for some reason. I can't see it, mate, to be honest. Can you? I think he's misplaced worries there. Willie? How's it going, Willie? Hey, how's it going there, Nico? Lovely to have you in chat, buddy. Finishing up a huge small scope comparison from Nico. That is going to be good. I can tell already. Yeah, I always love your comparisons, Nico. They are top tier, mate. They really are. C-stars. Yes. I was playing around with StarShrink last night. I was surprised, really, at how good the AI-powered kind of like... I don't want to just call it just noise reduction, but it's like a post-process that's one tap. It did such a good job. It took an image that were looking fairly shoddy and turned it into a decent little shot, to be honest. I do like them. I think they've very much got a place in modern astronomy. The C-stars and smart telescopes, that kind of thing. I don't see that market disappearing. Definitely not completely disappearing. Yeah, me either, mate, I would say. Lee, FMA 180 Pro is fantastic. It's good to hear, mate. Sharp edge-to-edge on an APS-C sensor. I can pull this down a bit, can I? Surely. Yeah, there we go. No back focus issues due to the number of lenses. Great addition to your arsenal. Very good, mate. One of your PhD 2 rigs isn't happy. Oh. Are you getting noises coming through, guys? Sorry about that. I usually have everything turned right down in here because I've got fairly loud speakers. But I ain't hearing anything from that. Could be this one, I reckon. Just off the screen there. Yeah, I've just heard PhD and I've turned volume up. Why is that? Oh yeah, it's not enjoyed that, has it? I think it's picked a star that's way too faint there. I'm just going to manually select. Yeah, we'll just manually select that. That's more than good enough. It's not too saturated. You can tell that by this peak not having a huge flat top. So it should be able to guide on that and figure a good centroid. Thanks for letting me know about that, mate. I really couldn't hear it. Clearly my speakers were set way too quiet. Or PhD bongs. The congratulations channel says a C-star 70, 80, 90 would be great. I agree, but also I think it kind of exists already. And I think it was another viewer actually who mentioned this. This is not my own idea, but when they said it to me, I was like, oh yeah, I think you've got a point. You know the new smart cameras from ASI, the 2600 Air, for example? That pretty much turns your rig into a smart telescope. The full ASI Air rig that I'm running, you know, the full ASI rig, should I say, on the phone right now, that feels a bit like operating a C-star in a way. It's slightly more involved, of course it is, but yeah. I think they're already here. I think the sweet spot is 120mm apo. Not too big and heavy. Enough aperture for short exposure times. It's hard to argue, mate. I do like 120mm apos a lot. Yeah, I really do. Hey, it looks like the first subs came in, by the way, from the other rig. Take a look at that thing. That's one 5-minute sub with the SQA 55. So once we get a few of these and stack them up, that's going to be looking pretty good. I would say that's going to be looking pretty good. Man, I do love this telescope. I mean, look at those star shapes in corners. Even with a bit of squiffy guiding, you know what I mean? It's so tolerant, running at quite a short focal length. yeah, happy with that. But yeah, Willie, the Ascar 120 Apo that I got through for review a little bit back, I liked that so much I bought it. There's no way I was sending it back, you know what I mean? I've done that a few times with a couple of scopes now. Oh, crikey, Sean. That's incredibly kind of you, mate. Thank you very much indeed for your support there. That's super. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. But yeah, I liked that scope so much. I thought, yeah, I'm just keeping this because at that time I was already missing another 120mm Apo that I'd parted with, my Esprit 120, and you know, you will find people online who are saying there's no way it keeps up, but I don't know, man. I owned both pretty much back to back, and I was very, very happy with the 120 Apo, that's for sure. Let's just see. If anything, C-Star's making the small scope market even more popular, as evidenced by the red cats, the squasses and the squabs. Yeah. I think they're great for people. I mean, not just people looking to dip the toe in and not have a ruinously huge investment just to get started in astrophotography. A smart telescope's incredible for that kind of thing because you can really get the feel for what it's like. You can even take that data and go through all the normal processing steps, stacking it up, processing it, etc. And see if it's something you even want to entertain spending more money on. And I think most people probably, once the bug bites a bit, yeah, they're going to want to do that, aren't they? And move on to slightly larger scopes or slightly finer scopes in terms of, you know, optical quality. But yeah, I think they're a good thing. Ultimately, all in, I think they are a good thing. I can hear the ping from it. Hopefully it's stopped now, Stan. Yeah, hopefully. How's it going, Pete? Just seeing you chatting there, mate. Yeah, it's good to see you in chat. Hope you're keeping well, bud. C-Star is a good thing for kids. Yes, absolutely. As the amount of visible objects in small telescopes is strongly limited and gets boring fast. Potentially, yeah. That is one gripe I have, and I got to agree with you there. I guess all the little smart telescopes, I think, come like, at least here, Northern Hemisphere, like February, March, April, May. Maybe you get anywhere with it by May, but classic galaxy season, you're a little bit stuffed for targets, aren't you? Because they're not going to be able to resolve anything really that notable. The C-Star S50 might. I've seen some decent galaxy shots taken with that due to that little bit longer focal length, but like the Dwarf 3 and stuff, I love it, but it's not for galaxy season. You know what I mean? But yeah, good point for kids, especially like my own son. When he's old enough, I can absolutely imagine starting him off with something like the C-Star or the Dwarf or whatever, and just seeing if he likes it for a start. You know what I mean? I will donate 20 memberships if everyone watching hits that like button. Oh, Casey, you're too kind, buddy. Yeah, likes do help out. It helps push on the algorithm and let people know, hey, this is enjoyable. Hopefully it is. Nico says, whoops, oh crikey. Pete strikes again. My goodness, Pete, you are an absolute legend, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Pete, what can I say? I mean, the support from this channel is just unbelievable, mate, but you've always gone above and beyond, well above and beyond, and I cannot say thank you enough, mate. So yeah, from me to you, Pete, thank you. And also thank you to everybody else watching too, but you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. I really can't say thank you enough. That's a heck of a lot of money, mate, and it does mean a lot to me. I hope you know that. I will try my best to catch up. Thank you again, by the way, Sean, for your gift as well, mate. That's absolutely awesome. Welcome aboard to all the new members, of course. Let's go, Sean. Yes. I was just reading Nico's comment. It was saying, I was skeptical initially about the 2600 Air, but after switching to it for testing with this latest review, I am won over by the convenience of grab and go. So, mate, you took the words out of my mouth. Exactly. Yeah, I think in my own review, if memory serves, I did mention something like it's been kind of keeping me hanging on with astrophotography when I just didn't have the energy for all the rest of it. The ASI Air, I did have the energy for that because it's just carry it outside, plonk it down, and like minutes and get imaging. Do you know what I mean? So that was what on earth has just occurred there? Pete. What, mate? And Casey with 20 gifted memberships as well. Something towards your little Luxie staff on. Oh, bloody hell, mate. Thank you so much, Pete. Crikey. I wish I could reach through screen and give you a cuddle, mate. You're absolutely incredible. And the support really does make a huge difference. Crikey, it does. Thank you all. Thank you, Casey. Thank you again, Sean. You guys are unbelievable. I can't say thank you enough. I really can't. I really can't. I wish I could. I will try to keep catching up with chat. I don't want to leave anybody feeling ignored. Do you know what I mean? And I also want to point out, you know, I'm thankful to everybody who's here. Don't get me wrong. I really am. I just want to make a big thing, of course, when someone does something like that, because it's unbelievable, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Thank you, everybody, and I really mean that. Yeah, I was just mentioning to Nico, it's such just an incredible grab and go system, and it's capable of so much these days as well. It were a bit of a lifeline for me just after my son were born. Like I say, no energy really for. Well, like tonight, we've got 3 rigs running. I wouldn't have been doing that. But that little rig, absolutely I could, because it just worked night after night after night. No issues. Looking at the SQA85 as my first rig, would that be recommended? Mate, yeah, if that's in your budget, I would honestly say go for it. My friend is reviewing one of those, my friend Quivlays Geek, and he absolutely loves it. He really does. I'd love to take a look at one someday. Oh, crikey. We've got another donation coming in hot. I will just say hello. My word, Sean, once again, mate. Bloody heckers. Thank you so much, mate. I really mean it. You deserve all the love, man. Your content is top tier. Oh, you're too kind, mate. Thank you, honestly. You really are. I'm lost for words, do you know what I mean? Because who could prepare you for such a situation where people give you this kind of support? It's humbling in the extreme. It really is, and it speaks to the type of people that this hobby, if you want to call it a hobby, attracts. I think it really does. You're exceptional folk, and I appreciate you. I really do. I have the FF130, and it's a bit too heavy. I reviewed something similar, mate, to be honest. The SQA, was it the SQA 130? A little while back, and I really liked that scope, but it would have been too expensive for me to keep. I couldn't afford to actually buy it from Ascar, so it did have to go. But it was a really nice scope. I do remember it being heavy and long, though. I definitely remember that. I'm no way going for smart telescopes. Quite divisive then, Bull. Taking away everything from this hobby. I mean, you're more than welcome to say as you wish. It's free. Free to say whatever you want here. I don't necessarily agree, though. I think it probably brings more people into the hobby to smart telescopes. The kind of tester, aren't they? You know what I mean? You can see if you like it and then go from there. But that's just me. Maybe there is something you have specifically in mind that they detract from. I don't know. Hubert Nieste. Good evening. Good evening, sir. How's it going? Nice to have you in chat. With the 2600 MC Air, I have on our CPC 1100 Hyperstar. It is indeed like a C-Star S279.4. That's it, mate. Yeah, that's it. I would love to try that MC Air actually on the Hyperstar rig. I think that'd be an interesting one. How are you finding it? My research with Zero has not been wasted. No, it hasn't been wasted at all, mate. They're an incredible scope. Is it small? It's pretty much better than a bigger Apo ED refractor. Ooh, Martin, that is... It's a tough question. I would always say probably... I'd prefer... This is me personally speaking. I'll just preface by saying that. I would always personally prefer a smaller, ultra-premium scope than a much larger, less premium scope. I'm not trying to like shit talk any scopes or anything like that, because you know, everybody's got certain budgets they're working to and things they have in mind that they want to shoot. But that's just me. I would, you know, if I had, let's say, 800 quid to spend on a scope, I would be buying an SQA 55. No question. Basically. But I know it won't fit for everybody. Does anybody have a little bit more experience with the Stargazing 71F? There's a couple of good channels about, mate. I think with some reviews out for that one. It does look to be a very well-respected little scope, and it certainly punches, from what I'm seeing, far above its price tag. Star Pictures Miami, that's what I'm doing now, dipping my toe in the water with the Sea Star and perhaps upgrading to a Red Cat 61. Yeah, so that's pretty much the scenario we talked about. Yeah, it's good to see it actually playing out with real people. You know what I mean? Yeah, even the most experienced astrophotographers would be thrilled with it. Absolutely, that's a good point that Gabe brings up there as well. I think when you do get something like that, an ultra premium scope, there's kind of no upwards trajectory in terms of scope upgrades from that point. So you've got a scope that you can grow with and develop your skills until the point where you're just taking, you know, unrecognizable images from the first ones that you took, which is what's happened with me. Like, my earliest images are bad. Do you know what I mean? They are, I don't mind saying it. But to me, they did the job. They lit the fire underneath my my butt and got me, you know, spending more money on this hobby and spending more time on it and more effort to learn, which I've been very thankful for, obviously. Paul McCowan. McCowan? Sorry, Paul. I'm undoubtedly getting your name wrong there, mate. I'm happy to be corrected when you hear me say this, but yeah, when I do outreach sessions for my local astronomy club to schools, youth clubs, etc., the C-Star S50 is a big hit and a possible Christmas and birthday present. Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, going back to the youth kind of thing, kids these days, and you know, to an extent, even last generation's kids have grown up with touch interfaces, mobile devices, that kind of thing. So controlling a device through that kind of interface to them is just second nature. It lessens the hurdles, you know what I mean, that they have to go through to be able to enjoy the night sky, which is a good thing, I think. Thank you again, by the way, guys. The support is just unbelievable. It really, really is. No two ways about it. You're waiting 21 weeks for the Dwarf. Crikey, mate. I feel bad on that one because I contacted Dwarf Labs about doing a review for that, and I guess I jumped the queue ever so slightly in getting one sent through. It is just one unit though. Will you forgive me? I feel bad. Nebula Photos, did you do a final update on your observatory? I'd love to see that, Nico. Yeah, if you haven't already done like a full, here it is, let's run through it, that'd be good. You're a genuine dude, Luke. You deserve the support. Oh, that's very kind of you to say, mate. Thank you. It is indeed. Star Pictures Miami, gift me. You probably don't have gifts turned on, mate, maybe, on the channel. Crikey, something towards your little Luke C Star fund. Have I liked all these ones? I think I have. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I'm just double checking. We're nearly caught up, I think, on chat, guys. I can pull across the other one. Show you what the SQA is up to, because to be honest, it's more impressive to look at than what we're capturing on the other rig right now. Are we still guided? No. ASCOM error. Okay. We're having issues. Everything was working perfectly before, so I'm wondering what the heck's gone on. Seems to be refreshing, taking shots. I'm seeing the background noise move, so it is refreshing. Huh. Very odd. I'm guessing this next sub that comes through is probably going to be ruined then, but it is what it is. I'm not going to stress out about it too much tonight. It's more just chilling out and hanging out with you guys. Jose, how's it going, mate? Nice to see you in another live stream. Thank you again, Pete. Bloody hell, mate. That's just unbelievable. I haven't used it personally, but I sold a lot and spoke to lots of happy customers. Ah, that's good, mate. Hey, thank you. Love the new mop, lad. Ah, Steve, thank you, buddy. Nice haircut. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I needed some confidence. I'm feeling great now. Yeah. Tonight, by the way, I have done something a little bit interesting. So, in previous live streams, we've talked about the fact that locally there's a really major source of light pollution. Well, there's two. There's a big factory. I don't think I'll be able to get anything done about that, but very locally, there's like a club on the end of my street that had some security lights angled like ridiculously high, really, really high, and I've just put up with it for 10 years because I'm English and I just won't complain. But I didn't have to complain as it happens. I found out, like, the manager of the club got in contact with them just today and said, here's my problem. Is there anything we can do about it? Nicely, obviously. And they were really easy to deal with. And basically, long story short, I've gone round myself with some step ladders today and made the necessary adjustment. I'm going to show you in a moment what a change it has made. Let me just find the pictures, because I took a before and an after, you know what I mean? Let me just find it for you. So, before, those are the lights in question, you know what I mean? It's pretty ridiculous, pretty intense. And after adjustment today, so look at that. You can see stars. It's unbelievable. But yeah, pretty major thing. And I wish I hadn't put it off so long. Do you know what I mean? They were really easy to talk to. It was nice, and I just thought, well, Luke, you donkey, should have just spoke to him years and years ago. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just basically said, I do this as my job, and it does make it very difficult until those security lights go off, because they're illuminating all our gardens. Do you know what I mean? Explained the problem as nice as I possibly could. Went through it with them, and then I said, I don't want you to be out of pocket either for making any adjustments. So I'm more than happy to come around with my own step ladders and do it for you. So they said, yeah, it's fine. Come do it. So I did. Yeah, a lot of people don't take kindly to the lights being criticised. Absolutely, mate, yeah. I tried not to frame it like that, because when I looked at the lights on the building, I can absolutely see how whoever installed them would have thought, yeah, that's fine. Because it looked okay, but the reflectors on those particular lights, they were angled as such that, how can I put it? So there's like a flat back panel to the reflector, and then two like 45-degree beveled sections, like back reflectors. And one of those, I guess, was just firing straight up our gardens. And that was kind of the problem. So I've angled them down now. They've got better lit property than they've ever had before. So it's a win there. Do you know what I mean? And our gardens are now so much darker. It's majorly good. So I'm chuffed with that, to be honest. Yeah, they were lovely to deal with. And I feel like a bit of an idiot for putting it off so long. Milkman, how's it going? I didn't see you there, mate. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I am indeed, my friend. Yeah, I'm keeping well, mate. Thank you for asking. We're doing well. Nice and happy. Felix is coming along lovely. It's all good. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Good evening, Luke. Hope all is well with you and the family. We are all well indeed, Mark. And this is Chloe's uncle, by the way. Yeah, I know we've spoke before about you were interested in getting into astrophotography, weren't you? As always, mate, the door is open. If you want to come round and have a look at what we've got running in here, and at the same time see Felix and stuff, if you want, I'd be more than welcome of you, mate. Take you through it all. I've definitely missed some chats. I'm doing my best to catch up. I bought the FF130 because of your PHQ 130 review. Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Yeah, I loved the scope. Like I say, I wish I'd have had the money to keep it, but it just it weren't on the cards. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, lovely, lovely telescope, and congratulations on it. I'm sure you're very, very happy with it. One of the things that stood out to me the most, from memory, with the PHQ 130, razor sharp, don't get me wrong, but looking through it visually were absolutely magic. It really was. So that was one of my favourite things, was actually putting an eyepiece on it and taking a look. Really, really enjoyed it. Oh, excuse me. Tiredness catching up with me. I need real life experience. Had the chance to take a visual look through the 71F, and the image was brilliant, but the owner, okay, eventually has focus problems with his DSLR. Not enough back focus, I assume, then, or something, which is irritating as the 71F is optimized for photography. Yeah, that is odd, isn't it, mate? That is odd. Dream would be an SQA 130 with a medium format camera, says Nick Guy. Yes, mate, absolutely. The hair, mate, where's it gone? It's gone! It's gone. It's all gone. I've ended up deciding to go for whatever this is. Some sort of top knot arrangement. It's all right. I tell you what, it feels good though to be free, like around my ears again. I've grown my hair out a bunch of times over the years, to be honest with you, and never really opted for proper haircuts. But my sister is a fully trained hairdresser, so I said, help, basically. And she did. So yeah, glad you like it. Thank you. Still haven't used my StarShrink nuclear nights. Oh, Casey, that's rough, mate. That's your weather's been even worse than mine, then, mate. By the sounds of that, it really has. We can probably kick off a live stack or something on these, can't we? I guess if I open up Sharp Cap on one of these other the rigs. I'll sort that out in a minute anyway. I am trying to catch up with chat. Really, I'm just looking to hang out with you guys and talk, to be honest. Hello all, PP land. How's it going, bud? Badoui. Adios. Thank you for the gift. Hey, thank you whoever gave him a subscription. That's awesome. We are catching up. I promise we're catching up. I won't be like 25 minutes behind like I usually am. How do you manage to image from the UK, assuming you live here? In Cornwall, 98% of the time since September has been overcast every night. It's just taking stabs at it as and when, mate, to be honest. I'm mad about it, aren't I? Do you know what I mean? I absolutely love astrophotography, so every night I'm outside looking up, regardless of what the weather says, just looking for gaps in the clouds, that kind of thing. And when I spot one that looks promising and I'm hopeful I'm not going to get completely rained on or anything like that, I open the roof and have a go. It doesn't always work out, but I find fast scopes where possible and one-shot colour as well has helped me get a lot done. I know that might sound silly given that you will actually get more data for a given time from mono. All that being said, I find myself getting more done with one-shot colour, but that's just me. Probably some sort of bias going on there, I imagine, subconsciously. I try to be fair with everything, but I will openly admit I do like using one-shot colour more than mono, but I like both. I've used the 71F extensively. That's awesome to hear then, so Nico can really help you out with that one. I haven't noticed any focus issues. A lot of people didn't realise quads still only reach focus in a certain backspacing range. Yes, that's true. Oh, just seen bloody heckers. How about that? Milkman, thank you so much, buddy. 20 gifted memberships, that's incredible. I really, really can't say thank you enough again, guys, to all of you who've given support tonight in all the ways that you do. So, like I said, right from going from leaving likes on the stream to this, this is absolutely next level stuff, of course. But it's gratefully received, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there. Adds the Astro. What mounts are you running? Ooh. Right, I've got an EQ8 Pro, the older version, so 2015-ish, that sort of version, so just before it's the newer ones with the livery, which includes green knobs on it. That's one. An EQ6 Pro, so an older, like an NEQ6 if you like, one of those. I'm still running that, my first proper mount. I've had that probably 8 years now, or maybe longer. So that's been an absolute workhorse mount. That's on the second pier. And then I've got two AM5s. I've got an AM5 that's still on loan, AM5N. Probably looking to buy that if I can. This is hoping. But I've also got another AM5 that I actually own outright. And I get, I use them as much as I can. Love them. They are my favourite mount currently, to be honest with you. AM5s. Really, really like them. But that's me. Had to buy myself a membership. Okay, see. That's awesome, mate. Welcome again, by the way. Let's just see. In Cornwall, the council have been talking about turning off all the streetlights after a certain time of night. I've not done it yet, but I can't wait for that. My bottle 4 might get a bit better. I think it would get notably better, mate, to be honest. Yeah, street lighting's, I'd imagine, I can't say for sure, but I would imagine it's a pretty large contributory factor to light pollution that we experience. The biggest one in my location now is a local factory, and it's so noticeable. Like, just looking in distance, you see this huge glow. Light down from it is phenomenal. It really is. But over the years, as we've changed away from high pressure sodium lamps in this location to LEDs now, because we were so late getting them up north, LEDs, they've ended up being actually naturally better units. So even though it's broadband light, which is bad, it's really well shielded, which is good. Less of it makes it up, you know what I mean, to the sky. So I've definitely noticed a darkening in my own sky just from that switch. Don't know what it's like in Cornwall though. I imagine you guys have been on LEDs for a while, maybe. I see. I was just showing you those pictures. One, crikey, that is a while back. Sorry, that's a great result. Yeah, absolutely, Pete. As we mentioned, when will we see you with the same haircut? Hey, you never know, Nico. I think you'd suit it, mate. I think you'd suit it. Both gonna look like Uhtred of Bebenberg. Happy with the FF130, especially with planets visually brilliant, mate. Yeah, I like I say, I really loved looking through it. It was special. Titch, how's it going, Titch? Hope you're recovering well, buddy. Looking sharp, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you for that. Yeah, doing really good. Doing really, really good. Having a nice time. Feeling very lucky indeed, to be honest, that I'm being able to spend, a lot of time with my son as he's growing up. It's been, I don't know what I'd have done otherwise, to be honest. I'm very, very lucky to be in that position, and I'm trying to make the most of it, you know what I mean? Marco, how's it going, mate? Greetings from Portugal. Damn, I'm jealous already of you guys. I just know they're going to be good. That said, maybe you live in a built-up area, eh? I don't know. I live in Cardiff in the Bay Area, and they have rotating spotlights. Rotating spotlights? Excuse me. Beaming into the sky. Is that like a bat signal? Crikey. Teacher's late for class, watching you while I wait for him. That's awesome, mate. Nah, your hair's lovely, Nico. Keep it, mate. Do whatever you want with it, but yeah, I think it looks cool. No problem, Mark. Surrounding of our observatory gets more and more light polluted too. Turn off the lights after 10. Yeah, that's handy at least. Nothing good happens before 10 o'clock. Don't worry about that, mate. Watching during the noon hour. Thanks. Crikey, where are you from then, Nels? Have they really? That's awesome. Happening in Red Roof, Camborne. Think your power is stood, yeah. It could be a Samsung situation, yeah. It could have that biblical vibes going. Hello from New England. To Nico. For anybody here, by the way, who doesn't know about Nico's channel, I can't see this being many of you, but for anybody who doesn't, please go check him out. You know what I mean? He does incredible videos. The sort of stuff that the lowly me can only aspire to at this point. Yeah, he is phenomenal. Really, really, really someone to look up to with the quality of work that he puts out. and I'm not just pissing up your back, Nico. I've enjoyed the stuff that you've done, mate, for years. Yeah, I really have. Brian De Jong. At my old house, the farmer across the street had a bunch of sodium vapor lights. It was very nice after we talked, and all I had to do was call, and he would turn them off for me. That's awesome. That's really nice then, yeah. I mean, most of the time, aside from a wildlife issue, I couldn't really care how much light pollution I have in this location. I know it's not good. It's not a good thing. It's totally preventable as well, but I just thought they were really nice. You know what I mean? That they did that today. They listened to what my issue was and didn't just try and absolutely shit on me or anything. They were like, oh yeah, all right. So it was good. Help me, old mucker. How's it going, Dave? Love it. Fellow Yorkshireman, I'm guessing. I've got a new setup to troubleshoot. Oof, always fun, Gabe. I've had 1 or 2 clear nights, but it's been below minus 30. Jeez. Up here for a while now, and I'm not up for troubleshooting in those temperatures now, mate, to be honest. I wouldn't be either, I don't blame you. That's rough. Currently shooting the Jellyfish Nebula over Dublin, Ireland, says Simon Kennedy. Fantastic. Love that target, mate. Couldn't believe the weather forecast and cleared outside today. Andrew Vellum, how's life as a dad, Luke? It's really good, mate. Yeah, I'm very, very much enjoying it. It's super tiring. It's given me... I already had plenty of respect for parents, don't get me wrong, but I've got even more now. Because it is a tiring job. Do you know what I mean? Not because the child themselves are tiring, but because you yourself tire. You tire yourself out worrying about them. You know what I mean? Or at least I do. I can't sleep right. I'm constantly like awake and having to check and look across at him like, oh, is he breathing properly and stuff. It might sound mad, but yeah, that's how it is for me, mate. But I wouldn't change it at all. I love him. It's really, really brilliant. Looks like inspiration of the Vikings. It is, mate. It actually is. Yeah, thank you. Might keep growing it, you know what I mean? Get into a great big braided knot on top. Why not? I'm fully Viking sized as men go, so maybe I could pull it off. Bristol's been awful for clouds at the moment. Oh no, mate. Sorry to hear that, Matt. Hopefully it clears up for you soon. How's your picture from Nina coming in without any stars? That'll probably just be stream compressing it, bud. I will try to just zoom in a touch so you can see there are stars. They are there, but problem with streaming, of course, is it gets compressed by my computer, uploaded to YouTube, and then decompressed and shown to you on your screen. And in that, you do lose something in translation, generally speaking. Sorry, I really am behind on chat, aren't I? I'm trying my best to catch up, though. I don't want to leave anybody feeling unanswered kind of thing. It's always worth actually having a look outside, as the forecast is quite often less than accurate. That's putting it really kindly, Pete. I would have said it's absolutely shite, but yeah, no, forecasts are garbage, mate. They really are, aren't they? I've been trying mostly these days, I don't know about you, but I've been trying to use Met Office, and I open up their map and try to look through. They've got like multiple layers, drop downs, clouds, etc., and precipitation, that sort of thing. And I've been trying to plot from my own mind where I imagine they're going to go based on their projections. It sounds ridiculous. It probably is ridiculous, but it's kind of been working in its own odd way. So even when we get forecasts for our area saying it should be cloudy, occasionally we'll get a little bit of clear and, oh, crikey dikey, what's this? Captain Tech Review gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much indeed for that, mate. That's dead kind of you. It really, really is. Welcome aboard to all the new members. By the way, we've had a heck of a lot of new members today. Appreciate it. Really, really do. Let's try and catch up the final few before we're... Where are we? Blimey. Oh yeah, we were talking to Pete about that. Got a nip off, mate. Keep in touch. Absolutely will do, mate. Me and Steve there in the chat, we've been having a thing lately where I don't know, a few years ago I mentioned on the channel like I was going to try and get back into painting. And I have been doing some painting and stuff like that. And just lately, we've been getting my mate down, and we'll try and put a painting on to do together, and we'll just blast through it as quick as we can. Sounds silly again, but it's a lot of fun. Catch some paint sessions. You will indeed, mate. Yeah, I've been enjoying them. Thank you again, by the way, all the gifted memberships. It's been unbelievable. I've just noticed Stefan's in here, I guess, in chat. Good to see you again, Stefan. I think I remember shooting M13 for you a good while back on a live stream. You're very welcome, Luke. Thank you. Really, really. Thank you for inspiring us so much. Hey, it goes both ways, mate. It really does. Thank you, guys. I don't think I'd feel nearly as much drive to get out every single clear night as I do currently if it weren't for you guys, because I always feel like I'm not just doing it for myself now. I'm sharing what I'm doing with people who seem to enjoy what I'm doing, which is a really strong driving factor in itself. Do you know what I mean? So it's good. It's a major positive, and I want to thank you all for that as well. Being able to turn it into my job is just a very, very nice side effect. Fast systems help a lot. Yeah. Prefer using mono on them, but yeah, colour does a very good job. It does indeed, mate. Yeah, I think we could get lost in weeds a bit here, but like back in the day, a long time ago, when people were typically using CCD cameras before CMOS become, really widespread like it is today, and the main prevalent technology, I think there was a huge gap, really, between like a mono camera and a colour camera back then. But these days, I think that gap has narrowed up quite a lot. The amount of quantum efficiency we're seeing from these sensors natively is incredibly high. We're nearly operating like scientific grade photon counters from our own backyard these days. It won't be long before it pretty much is that sort of situation. So it just feels like when there is a limit to how sensitive a camera can get, it can only be, let's say, 100% quantum efficient, and we're nearly approaching that on some cameras now. The gap is lessened. I think there's only so much wiggle room now for improvement sensor-wise. The technology itself natively, yes, it's going to be slower capturing in colour, always. That's that. But you can still get an awful lot done with a colour camera. But yeah, hello from China. How's it going, Lubo? Nice to see you in another stream, buddy. And thanks for posting on the channel, by the way, the other day. I'm going to try and show you that, by the way, as well, guys. For anybody who doesn't know, YouTube has enabled a new feature for me on my channel. I'll try and catch up on chat just a little bit more, but it's basically where subscribers, if you've been subscribed, I think I've got it set to be more than a week, basically, just to try and stop people spamming, because it could happen. I'm trying to watch out for it as much as I can, that kind of thing. But you can post your own images to my channel feed now, and if other people see it, I will see it. People can comment, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit like a Discord. It's not really, but it's a little bit like a Discord server in that you can share what you're doing and have other people from the same community see it, view it, and give you feedback if you ask for it as well. Really quite a nice feature, I think. Gamer SD. Hello, Luke. Buonasera. Buonasera? I'm definitely making a mess of it, but I'm trying. I'm Italian. I often watch videos and tutorials. Thank you. Sorry for my English. Sorry for my Italian. Your English is absolutely fine, mate. I know that my Italian isn't, though. But no, hey, thank you very much indeed for watching. And it's lovely to tune in on a stream and come spend some time with us. As always, good evening all. I'm late to the party tonight. Guess you've talked about the hair. We have, mate, yeah. We have. I'm blushing. I'm going to have trouble getting out of my observatory door, It's going to be growing a big head. Beginner in Hackberry, says Terry. Portal 2. Oof. Terry, please get into this hobby properly. You're going to love it. Skies like that. Yeah, looking forward to starting this journey after retirement. Good on you, mate. Yeah, what a way to spend your time. I absolutely love it. I get so much out of it. And it's not just the pictures, but the act of taking the pictures, knowing what we're looking at, and sharing it with others has been key for me. It's not just a scientifically enjoyable pursuit, but I think it's also a very human experience without trying to sound too flowery and fancy about it. But I think it is. People have been looking up at the night sky since people had eyes, I guess, and now we're just doing it in a modern way, with a modern spin. It's really good. Good evening all. Yes, we caught that one. Hello all, Mr. B. How's it going? How's it going, Mr. B? Nice to have you. Is this NGC 2237? It is indeed. That's that region. Then we've got the Cone Nebula region over here. I did my best to try and frame both. I will kick off that live stream because I'm clearly just massively behind on chat. I will catch up on chat in a minute, but live stack rather, not live stream. Got streaming on the mind. If I could find... I would kick it off if I could find Sharp Cap. Here we are, Sharp Cap. So I'm going to pull these files across my network and we'll do folder monitor live stacking. Can at least take a look what this looks like. So folder monitor camera right there. It was just staring me in the face and I couldn't click it for some reason. Does anybody else get like that? Or is it a me problem? I'm going to point it to the right folder across my network. This is sometimes very laggy to open. That's why I'm just having to wait a little bit for this one. Very laggy to open, it seems. Astro Mini, that's the correct one. So Nina, and we're down here tonight. Right, let's open these up. Kick off live stacking. Reset our tools. And with any luck, should be able to hit play and have this build up some images for us. So let it get a couple. See if we need to make any adjustments. We've got a gradient removal experimental in place. So we'll balance the background, pull up the black point, move across the midpoint, get a bit of a S curve going on. We might have to clip the blacks. Not so much clip, but you know, be quite aggressive with the black point on this in order to get something visible on the screen. But yeah, that's what it's looking like with no flats, no nothing. 4 rejected frames, so this is one frame that's stacked. What was the reason the others wouldn't stack? Filtered out on brightness, perhaps? How about we run no filtering? Clear it, wind it back, go again. If it would, anyway. 3. Will it stack? Sorry guys, once I've set this up, I'll get back to catching up with you all in chat. That's the most fun thing, to be honest, for me about live streams. Don't know about you guys, but having it feel at least a little bit like we're chilling out in the same sort of room together and just chatting, that's nice. Star detection status, so it's having trouble detecting stars. Alright, very well. We'll turn down the amount of stars it needs. We'll turn up the sensitivity. It's never simple, is it? You know what I mean? You couldn't just go, oh yeah, I'll just stack that for you. It has to be a pain. Let's see if it can detect some stars now. There we go. Got some stars. We've set it. Looks like all shall be well from here on out. I can find my streaming software once again and get back chatting with you. So, whoosh. Here we are. Needed sound effects, did that. Where were we? Where were we? Ah, remember reading these. Late to the party tonight? Yes. How cold is it in the UK? Not too cold tonight, mate. No, that cold snap's gone. It was absolutely bloody freezing not long back, but I don't know, probably about 8 degrees tonight, something like that, I would guess. So, not that cold. Just came. When's the next video coming up? hopefully I will have a video within the next 7 days. I hope. I've had, I know it sounds like excuses, I promise it's not. I've had a lot of other stuff going on at the minute. And of course, being a new dad is taking up a lot of time too. But yeah, I will have new videos coming up. I'm probably going to be trying to share some data with you basically and run through some processing tutorials doing what I'm doing these days. So I've finally updated PixInsight, by the way. I've done it. We've got up to date on the latest version of GradientXpert. We've got the latest versions of the new AI model for NoiseXTerminator as well. So yeah, we can run through stuff. I'll show you how I'm processing images these days, and at the same time supply you with some data so you can try it for yourself. And I think the first set of data we're going to be looking at is, if I could ever find it, clearly not on this computer. Let me open a web browser. We will get there. I promise we will. It's the horse head, basically. I don't know if you guys saw recently, I posted an image of the horse head and flame taken with the hyperstar, and I want to run through that on stream because it's good data. It should be a lot of fun to process, but it's imperfect as well. So it should give us something to do as we work through it. So whoosh, let's just pull this onto the screen. So yeah, it's this data that we can take a look at processing. I will supply it for you. And that should be fun. I think it's lovely data. It's when not compressed by Google Photos it is anyway, but should be a fun one to run through. And it's just broadband stuff as well. So we can start there and then move on through doing, not just broadband, but one-shot color dual narrowband, mono, once again, that kind of thing. Should all be fun. Hopefully people look forward to doing that. I want to do some comparison videos, again, of like a smaller scope versus bigger scope. I know they're never fair or anything like that, but they're always fun. I like doing them. I do anyway. Let's get caught up. Oh, there's one more thing I want to show you as well. Yeah, we were talking about the channel page, weren't we? Let me try and sort that out as well. So, let me just, whoops. When you go on my channel these days, if you're a subscriber, you should be able to go across to, where is it actually? This is slick, is this? You know what I mean? Posts. Here we go. It's just been renamed. It used to be called Community. It's Posts now, I think. So, yeah. You should be able to pop some stuff in this that I'll be able to see. I can't see on my own feed right here, but if I scroll down my YouTube homepage a little bit, I can see them all that way. So it's pretty good. You can literally like upload your own images, put them through, and share them with everybody who is also looking at those threads of images. It's a pretty good system, I think. It's still in its infancy. It's very new. But there it is. Yeah, have a look at that. If you guys have got some images you'd like to share with me and with anybody else, that'd be a decent place to put them. Does look like the Rosette. It is indeed. Hope to get an AM5N soon as well, and a Wanderer Astro Rotator. Very nice. To shoot in Altaz derotated mode. Ooh, no polar alignment, no leveling, no flips, and the focuser always stays level. There's a lot of wins there, yeah, I have to say. That'll be a really interesting rig, that, Gabe, I think. I hope it all works out proper for you there, mate. That's cool. In my city, they still turn off the streetlights between midnight and 5 AM. Gets super dark. I'll bet it does make a big difference, yeah. We've been, so last week, another thing were happening as well. We had a seemingly never-ending series of power cuts just on our street, oddly. So that were fun, but it didn't give me the opportunity to see what my hometown would look like after a proper power cut, unfortunately. I did run outside giddily, hoping that I might have had a chance to view the sky before lights came back on, but no such luck. But yeah, fortunately I think they've sorted the power problem now as well. I will try and catch up. EQ6R Pro needs a little tinkering after time. Yeah, only tinkering that I found, Lubo, for a while was so the entire worm gear on the EQ6 is mounted on a carriage that's got a little bit of back forward movement that you can introduce. And I found that I needed to change it very slightly between winter and summer, basically, to get good guiding. But it seems like the last time I've changed it, I must have just landed spot on, and now it hasn't needed adjustment for winter or summer since. It's been working perfectly. Happy new haircut, Luke. Thank you, Nugsy. Appreciate it, mate. Bet your ears are cold. That was the first thing I said, actually. I walked outside and I'm like, whoa, my head's freezing. Normally I'm wearing a great big hat, aren't I, from all that hair. Gotta get a haircut tomorrow. Let's see. Sky's clear now. I can see the moon. Should take a picture of Neptune in the next days. It's not far away from Venus. That could be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Never thought I'd say this, but thank you, British Isles, for sending clear skies eastbound. That is a rare one. Yeah, with clear skies tonight. Tadpoles in sight. Brilliant. Kenneth, enjoy them, mate. Lovely target. ASIA got rid of most of the cables. Only one cable leading to the telescope. And yeah, that's one major thing for me, to be honest. I don't really like big nests of cables. They are unavoidable in most rigs, aren't they? But that's a major strong point for me with that ASIA camera. Bloody hell, is it neat? You know what I mean? It's so neat. Healing up nicely. Brilliant. Glad to hear it, Titch. I really am, mate. I'm chuffed for you. Even I managed a few hours imaging a couple of nights ago. Lovely. Never visit a barber again. I just don't look after my appearance at all. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. So I thought, why not make a change and have an actual haircut? I think this is the second time in my life, no exaggeration, that I've had an actual haircut. Normally it's just either I've got all the hair or none of the hair, and then the weird bit in between when it's growing back. Tom, how's it going, Tom? Great channel. Thank you very much, mate. Have you had your hands on Skywatcher wave mounts? I haven't, mate, no. I can't really say anything about them. I'm trying to think now. Trevor did a review, didn't he? Yeah, Trevor, Astro Backyard. I think his video were good on it. Talks about the pros, the cons, etc. They look interesting. For me, personally, I think I prefer the look of the AM5 and how the cables are routed, etc. on that one. Well, that's just me. I certainly don't know everything. I could just tell you what I think I know. Look up for Bahrain in the light pollution map and then think about jealousy. I wonder how bad it is, eh? Bahrain. Or how good it is. I don't know. We are getting there. I promise we're getting there. Oh, we've not got much to go on, have we, before we're caught up on the chat? Thinking to go out. Elephant's drunk for the first time. Oh, yes, do it. Lovely target, mate. One of my favourites, that. Thanks for the memberships. I'll be joining permanently. That's really, really kind of you, Brian. I mentioned this, I think, last live stream. I've had a couple people, more than a couple people, actually. And it's amazing to me, but they've shown such support. Like, the first time I launched channel memberships, I did so because folk were asking if I would. So I went, yeah, all right, let's do it. A few people joined, and they've stayed joined ever since. And it's been nigh on 3 years, I think. 2.5 years or something like that. That's just unbelievable. Amount of support. It really, really is. And I'm grateful to them. Luca Matico says, Ardsley Astro. I'm running a HEM15 hybrid mount with AM5 when guiding near 0 degrees deck. Is it much worse than, say, 60 degrees deck? I have an annoying oscillation. I don't think I've had any real issues regardless of pointing angle on mine, mate, but I'm sure if you Google around online, you'll probably find people with exactly the same thing reported from their AM5s. So I can't really say anything concrete for you there, buddy, to be honest. your HEM15, I know you don't particularly need to balance the load on it, but how does the load look, and what sort of tripod do you have? Is there any oscillations being introduced by that? Maybe, I don't know. It could be worth looking at. I know that on the AM5s that I have, I've tried them on 2 different mounts. So I've got one that's an aluminium pier, so it's a tri-pier, and the other is just the TC40 tripod. And I find that really the TC40 tripod, as strong as it is, I think it's more suited to a light rig, as even like wind can cause it to wobble a little bit. So I don't know. It might actually be your mount, is what I'm very long-windedly getting at. I would look at everything potentially just to see. Got the L Ultimate. Finally got some nice images from the Dolphin. Lovely target, mate. Yeah, good stuff. Wouldn't mind seeing them if you want to post them on the channel page. Nick Kent. Hi, Luke. A junior question is this? How do you run 2 Nina programs and 2 separate PhD 2 guide cameras at the same time? I use Nina with the GT81 and a 294 and an EQ5. So for me, mate, I've no experience in running multiple rigs from one instance of Nina, so I cannot possibly comment on that. Anything I might say could potentially just be literally straight up misleading, mate, to be honest, so I'd rather avoid that. But what I'm currently doing is running 2 separate systems entirely, and I just kind of control them all from this one PC. So remote desktop is what I'm using, so 2 completely separate instances of Nina. I'm trying to think who could help you with that question now. I'm not sure if Queeve's ever run a side-by-side or something like that, if that's what you're describing, like a side-by-side rig where they need to be synchronized for dithers and things like that. But yeah, it could be worth having a look around and finding someone with a similar situation. They could probably give you more quality advice than I could on that one. I had to drive 2 hours for a dark location, stayed there for 3 absolutely clear, cold nights. Crikey. I hope you weren't just sleeping in car, mate. That sounds grim. Always amazes me to see so many stars. Oh, yeah. I can only imagine Lubo, to be honest. I think I've mentioned before, but the best skies I've ever seen, personally, I've been Bortle Thor skies, and they were something. They really were something. It were hard to navigate. I had to figure out where I was. I'm so used to seeing constellations in the state that they are from my home, where it's ball 7, that it was a little bit disorientating. You know, like trouble even finding north and things like that. Odd. Really odd situation. Oops. Am I just about caught up? No, I'm not. Oh, crikey, I've missed Nico there as well. Completely. If you see this at some point, Nico, thanks for jumping in, buddy. Nice to chat, as always. We are getting there. I hope you guys don't mind too much me being a little bit behind on chat, but like I say, I feel like everybody's questions are important. I want to try and just chug through them, basically. Howdy. How's it going, Pim? Luca, good to see you in another live stream, buddy. How's it going? 10 years ago, weather forecasts were much more accurate. Maybe so, mate, to be honest. Maybe so. I don't know. Use the Flow X app on Android. Good for layers and fairly accurate. Okay. So there's more stuff I could try. That would probably be a good idea. Well, definitely would be a good idea when I get more data. Then I could cross-reference between them and see where they agree and where they disagree, rather than trying to pull all my kind of decision-making just from naked eye observations and one source. I use the Met Office because, as far as I know, the most trusted source here in the UK for meteorology. Not sure if you answered this already. I got disconnected, but how are you taking these? Looks like they're starless. Sorry, Amlan. Yeah, it's they do have stars in them. It's just the incredibly wide field of view and the very small stars are probably being lost in compression on this, unfortunately. I will try and edit this view for us just a little bit, as it's a tad bright, is it not? Just cut into that very slightly. Maybe intensify the stretch a touch. Yeah, that's looking good. I'll tell you what, with a bit of data, this is going to look good, I think, guys. I'm feeling pretty hopeful about this one. It's if we just pan around a little bit. Oops, how come I can't? I used to be able to pan. What's going on? I'll have to do it manually. Old school. But yeah, with a bit of data, this is going to look good. This is 70 minutes now, so 14 5-minute subs. And I know that the other region shot that I showed it earlier on in the stream at 64 5-minute shots were really rich in data. That looked great. So if we could go for the same again, could be onto a winner perhaps, because I know there's a lot of ripply stuff around here. It's like a velvet sheet of a background. It looks really incredible, does the cone and fox fur in particular, with enough data. That's always the challenge, isn't it? Getting enough data from this location. Looks as well, there's like a huge connecting, what would you call it? Like a lobe as such, going around from right from the rosette. It appears to connect into the cone and fox fur right there through this large arc. Don't know if you guys are able to see that on the stream as well, but it seems to be there. Interesting enough. As you're on about Vikings, Luke, I sent you something. I'll have a check at my texts after. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Welcome aboard, Lee. By the way, mate, thank you for joining my channel membership system. I do my best to try and get on with answering comments and questions, I think, like, as quick as possible. I try to prioritize getting member questions answered first if I can. I want to try and offer something for it, but it is primarily, I'll be honest, a support system more than anything else. I'm trying to keep everything that's important on my channel free and without any paywalls, effectively, you know what I mean? I know how important that would have been for me when I was first starting out, because I didn't have £2 to rub together, you know what I mean? So I try to be fair with it if I can. C-Star S50 can track rockets at rocket launchers. Blimey, mate. That'd be awesome. About 20 seconds of automatic tracking in scenery mode against the sun in alpha focus. That's awesome. So I guess if you fire enough away that you don't exceed its angular slew speed, that's you could track it a long way, I suppose. Quick question, says David. Should I do my whole plan at 180-second exposures, or 80% at 180 and 20% at 300? I'd do the whole thing at 180. If you've got a relatively modern camera, David, just stick with one. You're probably not going to see much difference really at all, mate, to be honest. Whereas combining two exposures can work great, can also introduce another possible level of failure, you know what I mean? An area where you could have a weak point. So it's probably for the best to do it all at one. But that would be me. That's just my opinion on it. Maybe someone else has chimed in. I don't know. Yeah, no, they're not. And it's video compression. Good to see, mate. Yeah. At least we've figured that one out now. Thank you for letting us know. Congratulations, channel. Free-Mo, Nebraska. Model railroading. All right. Hi, Luke. Greetings from Nebraska. Hello there, mate. Good to have you here. I'm about 2 months back into it after a 10-year break. Wow, a decade off, eh? The new tech today is insane. You and Queeve have been a huge help in catching me up. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate you joining, mate. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for your support, jumping in on the channel, having a chat with us. It's really, really nice to know that what I'm doing is actually doing something. You know what I mean? It's a lovely feeling. It is. I'm a lucky bugger to be able to do this, and it's all thanks to you guys. It really is. Let me see. Dim asks, how does the upload work? Would be a nice video of how to. That's a really good idea, mate, to be honest. That is a good idea. Why did that not occur to me? Yeah, I should probably do that, shouldn't I? I'll try to do a small video perhaps explaining how to do an upload to my channel. I'll have to see if Chloe will borrow me her phone or something so I can do it from a subscriber's view, because it's always different for me how I see things appear on my channel. It's filtered strangely when you've got a I hate the term, but you know, like a creator account on things. So my way of showing it would be different to what it actually would look like in reality. So yeah. God, I made a mess of explaining that, didn't I? But there it is. Had to grab a Minicam 8 after your review. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it just arrived yesterday. May get a chance for first light tomorrow. Good luck for first light then, mate. Yeah, I think you've done a blindingly good decision there, buying that Minicam 8. I think that's a fantastic starting point. Well, not just starting point. Let me correct myself immediately there. It's a fantastic camera that you can grow with a hell of a long way. So yeah, congratulations on that one. I really like that camera. Just killing time till it's my time for the clouds to disappear around 10, says Pim. I really hope they do for you, mate. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Captain Tech Review says I was around 16 hours. Talking about the dolphin. Got you. Jellyfish, rather. How are you live stacking? So I'm not live stacking in Nina, mate, on this, although I've been told that Nina does now have a live stacking feature rather handily. Ooh, you bugger. We're gonna do this, wasn't it? We'll settle that some other time. Windows updates, man. You've got to keep your eye on them. But yeah, so what I'm actually doing here is live stacking in SharpCap using a feature called Folder Monitor Live Stacking. So it treats whatever's being put into that folder as a frame that's being read from a camera, effectively. And it works really well. It means that I can pull frames across my network and live stack them to share with you guys. Well, live. On here. Done my thing again, by the way. Closed down the chat panel. Looks like everything's working all right there. We're getting really bloody good guiding tonight, aren't we, on that rig? What's going on? You can see M81 and M82 right there in guide scope. How about that? Yeah, that's not looking too bad. That's the EQ8, by the way, and the Hyperstar rig, M81, M82. Not really much to see there, is there? So I'm not gonna dwell on it. But this is hopefully another future video subject we can cover, processing some galaxies like this. Should be some fun if we can get enough data to make it worthwhile turning into a tutorial or similar. Set up our little streaming segment again. I can't stay too much longer, unfortunately, guys. I've been having a really good time with you. I have. I'm just aware that Chloe's in there with my boy. Bedtime for me. Have a starry night. Have a good one, mate. Thanks for joining in. We are getting there. Let's get caught up. Didn't know you could live stack in SharpCap. Yep, absolutely, mate. Deep stack live and it's shite. That's fair enough. Yeah, SharpCap is brilliant for it. Really, really like it. You've got all the usual rejection features as well, which is it's just handy in it. To be honest, would be a nice feature if Nina stacks the single subs. It would, wouldn't it, Nick? Yeah, I'd love to see that. Something really streamlined and built in straight away to Nina, so you could see like, hey, this is what your current H stack looks like. This is your O stack. This is your S stack. Maybe, you know, like, so you could use it for mono too and have individual windows showing you what each of those current stacks is like at that point in time. Might help people make decisions during imaging too, as to, you know, like, you could be looking at that and think, gonna need to devote an entire second night to oxygen or something. That'd be useful. I'm talking myself into all sorts of ideas here just while I'm chatting to you guys. Is it a live stack plugin for Nina? Oh, there is. Sorry, there is a live stack plugin for Nina now. I used it a few times. Works quite well. Good to hear that, Alan. Yeah, I'll have to try it at some point. I've just not really got around to it. I've been almost afraid to mess with anything because stuff's been working quite well lately. Whether it has been a challenge, felt lucky to be able to get 3 decent nights. It just means no clouds. Good evening, Solar System time lapse. How's it going, mate? Nice to have you in the chat. It really is. Let's see. Alan's just telling Pim to do that. Oliver, how's it going, Ollie? Great to see you live streaming. Thank you, mate. Love your content. just joined, probably missed the setup description. Which OTA do you use for the current session? So the image that we're looking at predominantly on this, I think the more impressive image, is taken with an SQA-55 little Petzval short refractor telescope that I absolutely love. I think it's a really special scope. I've been loving using it, and I'm just finding it refreshing. You know what I mean? Doing some really wide field stuff. It's a lot of fun. So this, by the way, this is reasonably abnormally wide. This is taken with a full frame camera too. So yeah, APS-C would be somewhat around about probably where I'm mounting if you're looking at the screen right now. So about a box about that big. Still pretty wide. Let's see. Question earlier, referencing weather forecasts. Also, as a retired commercial pilot, I use obviously the aviation weather. Okay, the most reliable is Meteo Blue with a specific forecast for Astro. That's interesting. What degree of specificity does it have for Astro? Is it talking about seeing quality or something else? I don't know. Interesting though. I'd like to know more about that. At Luca Matico asks DIM, would it be a reason to use dual band filter for 2237? I took some pictures of it with just IR cut. So I think an IR cut picture of this region could look really pretty. I definitely do. But as it is predominantly nebulae, you know what I mean? There's not much going on there that's kind of a reflection nebula, which I'd always prefer to preserve reflection nebulae over emission nebulae. For me, this is truly a narrowband target. That's my way of viewing it. That said, it could well be worth having a look at what it just looks like with UV IR. I think no two ways about it. Daniel, how's it going, Danny? It's been a while since I've seen you about, mate. How are you doing? Updating PixInsight is always a pain. It bloody is, mate, isn't it? Yeah. What an absolute pain. Little ones have a hand in that. Queeve just did the NXT V3 video. Yes, indeed. I actually saw as well, Mike. Adam Block did a really deep dive thread through the needle video on its usage and explaining its features kind of thing. I do need to watch that. Try to digest the information because he knows so much more about this stuff than I do. Can always pick something up and learn something new. I'm very proficient at processing. I feel like I get the job done, but I don't really understand probably a 10% as much as Adam Block does about why these processes work the way they do. You know what I mean? So don't know. Could be interesting to learn a bit more from that though, and try to apply that knowledge after digestion into my own processing tutorials. Let's see. Much love seeing image capture you from these wonderful broadcasts. I really want to see the back of your head, says DP. All right, mate. This one's just for you. So, front on, side, and back. Can you see that? Got a little bit of a tassel situation going on here because my hair's quite long and I've tried to preserve it pretty long, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with, mate. Let's see. AM5 or AM3 for an SQA 85. Is the AM5 that much better than an AM3? I don't have any hands-on with an AM3, so I can't say, but I've really enjoyed an AM5. But you don't need an AM5 for that SQA 85. However, let me just add this on top and say that if you think you're loving astrophotography and you're probably going to end up with bigger scopes down the line at some point, you might enjoy the extra flexibility that an AM5 will offer, because it really is. It's still a very small mount. It's not going to be hard to handle in any way, shape, or form. You might wish to actually go for the AM5 in anticipation of future scopes, just in case you do get something else. But if you're dead set and all you actually want is the SQA 85, you'd get by. Not just get by. It would handle the AM, the the AM3 would handle that like it's not even there. So yeah, that's my take on things. Maybe if anybody else wants to chime in on advice for that, because it's a pretty big purchase, isn't it? It'd probably be in your best interest to get as many opinions as possible. Maybe people will agree with what I've said, or they won't, or, you know, either way. Could be useful for you. Derotation in Alt As is interesting. Is it implemented in ASI already? It's not implemented in ASI, although I could be making this up. I could have sworn I heard someone say it is something they're looking at. Wouldn't quote me on that, to be honest. But it is in some other software, as far as I know. I think SharpCap can perhaps derotate as well. I'm not 100% on that one either, but yeah, I'm not much use really, am I? When it comes to it. Ordered a proxy sky UMI 17. The weight is killing me. I think I've seen those. Is it, dare I say, from AliExpress, that kind of thing, mate? They look really good, don't they? I have to say, for what you get for your money, it looks pretty damn promising. Yeah. Good on you. Give these things a try, mate. I can't see as it be any major issues. But I don't know. ASI keeps dropping Wi-Fi tonight. A little annoying, but persevering, says Thomas Griffin. That's an odd one, mate. What version of ASI do you have? Because I have heard some other people having issues. My main question to you would be, what is your voltage reading out as? I think, I'm not sure, but I think it probably cuts down a little bit on Wi-Fi power as voltage drops. Potentially. So I would say if you're running more than 12 volts, 12.4 and above or so, they're quite tolerant to voltage. You can run an ASI Air up to, I think, 13.8 volts input, and I've done that myself. So I can confirm that. But they do run better, I think, at higher voltages. Yeah. Again, maybe if anybody has anything to mention about that, you could chime in, let me know what you think. Tariq, how's it going, mate? Nice to see you in another live stream. Gloppy, hello, how are you today? Doing really good, buddy, thank you. Just got an AM5N today. Oh, congratulations. Good on you. I think you're going to absolutely love that, mate. That's a good purchase. Cable is routed better on the Wave 150. Okay, so you like the cable routing on that. That might be reason enough to go for it then, mate, to be honest. I mean, if that's something that's really going to stick out and be a problem for your particular OTA, I mean, a refractor's really easy to mount in it because your cables come out of the back and that's that. But if you're operating with a Newtonian and stuff, you can have cables all over, you know what I mean? A dew heater at the bottom, possibly a secondary mirror heater at the top, maybe a PC mounted on it somewhere, and then your camera cables, and it ends up a bit of a like spaghetti thrown at a wall or something. It's just a mess. So yeah, if they can help you get your scope mounted how you'd want it, that could be a good thing. I will say I really like the cable routing options though on the AM5N, that through saddle option for the mount and power out of it as well is dead useful. Absolutely it is. Bit overkill, but gives me room for future growth, says Jim. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that, Jim. Brian Dijon, mount recommendations for a £45 rig. Ooh. I mean, I think an AM5 would hold it, as long as you operated with the counterweight. But, yeah, it's hard these days, because there's so many good mounts out there, and I haven't got experience with all of them. Do you know what I mean? I can't, with any good conscience, recommend to you, like, an older mount, even though I know it could do it. So, like, my EQ6. If you could pick one up used, then absolutely, that would be a good option. But if you're looking to buy new these days, I would want to get on board with the new tech, which would be strain wave harmonics, such as the AM5. And I think, like I say, the AM5 could hold that. The AM5N particularly, it's got a bit of a heavier total load, I think. Dora Mason, greetings from Turkey. How's it going, Dora? Your processing tutorials have been very helpful, and I think you have a natural narrator's voice. Just as I'm reading that as well, I'm giving you some natural narration with Luke. No, Sorry, I don't mean to make a joke of it. No, it's very kind of you to say. It's overkill, but I just want to future-proof. Yeah. It's lovely to hear them, that tutorials have been helpful. They're a fair bit of work, you know, to put together. I tried to record them in one take, but getting that one take can take a bit sometimes. I tried to do that for like continuity, so it's not just chopping all over the place, which I expect could be jarring for someone trying to follow along. But yeah, I don't know. I sent you a photo of the spotlights in your community posts. Brilliant, Sean. I will check that out, mate. I think so. One more thing, by the way, you have just jogged my memory. This is why I couldn't show you the community posts on there. I think they're only able to be sent and viewed on mobile devices. That is one thing. So yeah, it's like a phone app thing. So if you've got a YouTube app on your phone, do it from there. Why did I forget about that? It's such a new thing. Almost seems like a consensus. Thanks, mate. Brilliant stuff. I have the AM3 with the ASIA and ED80 Apo. Perfect rig. Again, yeah. I think an AM3 will absolutely just toy with an 85mm Apo or something like that. Even one that's like built like a tank, like those SQAs are. But yeah, it's up to you. If you think in the future you're going to be like, yeah, I need a bigger scope. If you even entertain the idea that that might happen, it could be worth getting that big amount now to save you having to do it twice. You know what I mean? Buy once, cry once. I have a Wave 100i, so we've got some real usage report here from Gareth, currently guiding between 0204 with the Celestron SCT8 Hyperstar and no counterweight on Ampere. Good stuff, Gareth. That's a useful bit of info. I have the AM3 in my basket, but I thought I'd ask first before I commit. That's very wise, mate. Yeah. AM3 for 102mm as well. I'm running mono, also using a counterweight. Good to know. Another really, really useful bit. So again, I think even though the harmonic mounts don't need a counterweight, and I don't think you will need a counterweight, I'll stress that. With an 80mm, 85mm refractor, again, it can be really useful to have that down the line. I don't think you particularly need to buy ZWO's counterweight bar though. As far as I know, as long as it's a M12 rod, so it finishes, I think, in M12, you could use any other rod that you might be able to find on certain websites. Perhaps save yourself a bit of money. It's just an option. Although the ZWO part is really nice, I will say that. As nice as a stainless steel rod can be. Bray Falls runs 3 Rasses on one system. 3 coppers and Nina. Okay. And I guess they just kind of talk. Oh, crikey. I know who this guy is. Chris. What a star Pete's Astro is. He bloody is, isn't he? And you are too, Chris, by the way, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Indeed for your support, mate. That's it. It's really, really, really is kind of you. I appreciate you. Thank you, mate. Are you out imaging, by the way, tonight? Are you having a crack? I hope you are. I'll just get caught up with chat, and then I realise I've been saying this for probably, well, I don't know. I can't even see how long stream's been going on, but I am doing my best, and then we'll have to, unfortunately, wrap it up for about 9:30. I reckon we're on 9:20 for me right here, so about 9:30. I would stay for 12 hours, but I can't. But yeah, it really has been a pleasure, you know, guys. Actually, just having a chill out stream, and we're not worrying about really too much what we're doing, but more just chatting with the community. I hope you've enjoyed it too, and it feels at least interactive enough, even though I'm a little bit slow on the chat, I realise. But I hope it's been interactive enough and maybe even informative, dare I say, at times. And just as I read that, no issues, Luke, on being behind on chat. Well, thank you, Mike. It's good to know that, mate. I'm living in Ball 3 to 4. They're building a converter station 1.5 kilometers from here. So I think it's illuminated all the night. Well, I would say, mate, even in Ball 3 to 4, let's say the worst happened, the worst happened, and it took you up to bottle 5 or something, that's still pretty darn good skies. It's not ideal, and I won't make excuses for them doing that kind of thing to your skies and your location, but it's not something I'd put too much worry into, to be honest. Yeah, bottle 3-4 right now is phenomenal, but yeah, even if it went really bad and went to a 5, it'd still be good. I'd kill for bottle 4 skies, says Jim. Me and all, Jim. I'm stuck shooting from a bottle 8, teetering on a 9 backyard. Your skies are even worse than mine, buddy. Oh, crikey. I were like a mid-7. I'm pretty sure about a mid-7. And now I'm convinced I'm a very low 7. Probably not quite a high 6. But it has got better over years. Posted my version of the Christmas tree and rosette to community posts. Oh, brilliant. Cannot fit them in one photo like you do. What telescope is it? Oh, this is the SQA 55 Lubo. So 264mm focal length refractor with a full frame camera. So if you're shooting APS-C with something similar, that'd be about this size field of view when I'm just mousing around. That might explain why. Might just, not quite fit. Or you'd have to, significantly deframe one to get the other. We are getting there. It's good plus as well. I do spend a lot of time in Egypt, but I would imagine that it's still a big bit to take over there. Yeah, a bit big rather. I don't know. I've got some friends who travel with Astro gear, mate, and they devote one carry-on, I think, to it. One carry-on luggage, and one of my friends in particular, I think he's Andy, he's done it. And he's like lined out a small carry-on case with foam and everything, and all his gear just fits in. So he could take it with him, but it's an option if you don't want it going in the hold, which I understand. Been to Bottle 4 skies once, says Derek. I thought it was going insane when I saw the Milky Way at Zenith. Mate, I was the same. Yes, I looked up and I was like, hang on, it's just there. Milky Way. Unbelievable stuff. Anybody else got issues with the cold in their filter wheel? Well, it will probably take care of it, Pim, but it's a really common issue. I've had it on every filter wheel I've ever owned, apart from just recently the Minicam right there. Tends to be the center screw within the filter wheel. So at least on ZWO ones, there's a large slotted screw in the center, and if you just unscrew it, a whisper of a hair, a truly tiny amount, it'll take off enough pressure that it won't bind in the cold, and it works great. That fixed all of mine. I've used three ZWO filter wheels and one QHY filter wheel separate from that. They all binded in the cold, and that always fixed it. So that's what I'd say. Simon Kennedy. Luke Matico, do you put much effort into framing your images before shooting, or do you just point and shoot? I do put effort into framing them now, Simon, yeah. Where possible, mate, I always try to make a more interesting shot, if I can. That said, most of the showcase targets, you see them framed the same way again and again and again. There tends to be a reason for that. It's because it shows off the main features of that target in a particular fashion. So sometimes you have just got to go with the flow, I suppose, and then take the photo how everybody else does. There's not always room for creative framing. Say M51, for example, everybody wants to take M51 in a particular way. But yeah, when you're shooting something like this, where there's some interesting stuff going off in the middle ground, oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I think a bit of choice in framing, a few minutes spent there is well worth it. Well worth it. I hope that answers your question, Simon. Alexandros, sorry, my brain wouldn't work then. Cloudy Night here. Nice to be going into the live stream. Well, it's nice to have you, mate. Thank you for joining in. It is. Question for those Cloudy Nights. Thoughts on the largest budget refractor for galaxies that EQ6R can handle? An ASCAR Apo 140. I think an EQ6R could handle an ASCAR 140. Yep. it handles my ASCII 120 very comfortably, I would say. But I do have an extended counterweight bar and a 10 kilogram counterweight, so I've got a little bit more wiggle room for larger loads. So I don't know what your current situation is with counterweights and the length of your counterweight bar, because I know some of them are really bloody stubby and short. Should have a think about that, of course, as well, because it could end up pretty expensive if you have to add on extra weights and things like that. So, but yeah, I know that it handles an ASCII 120, no problem, and I've had some really big mount telescopes, to be honest, on that EQ6. So yeah, 100%, I think it could handle it. Trying to start my own astrophotography channel. Could you give me some tips on how to grow? Astro Lester asks. Ooh, that's a good question, mate. I went for it with no expectation of anything, and that's what worked for me. It was impossible to be myself fully on camera when I first started out. If you go back, watch like my first videos. They're ridiculous how almost like deer in the headlights I am, because I'm just not someone who really had photos taken of them and things like that, or ever really wanted to be on video. But you get used to it, and now you can, like I'm talking to you now, just like you're my friend in the room with me, it becomes just stupidly easy. It's no longer something that's in the back of your head and causes you any grief whatsoever. So that would be the thing. Just go into it, start uploading stuff. Don't expect to make the best video that the internet's ever seen on your first 100 videos or something. I'm still crap at making videos, I think, and I've made hundreds of them, mate, but I am getting incrementally better over time. And I think, at least for astrophotography, and this is going to sound rich coming from me, but I think one of the key things you need to develop is your ability to just communicate what you're thinking and feeling at any given moment in time, as along with any relevant, facts-based information. Also, so communication and getting good at it is key. Comfortable at it, rather, is key. And why I said that's rich is because I am the king of waffling on. I can't stop myself. Well, yeah, I wish sometimes I could just switch it off and get the point out concise, but I can't. And it seems to have worked okay for me so far. But yeah, good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you. It's a fun thing. Let's see. We're nearly catching up. I have an hour to a ball to sky. Ooh, that's going to be good, mate. Yeah, those are some incredible skies. I'd love to see that kind of thing one day. Good to see people chatting, by the way, in the chat. That's nice. It's a really helpful community we've got here, isn't it? Hi, do you know how to frame an object that is really faint? I can't atlas it in ASIR. Would like to shoot SGH2 240, but I think I need a mosaic of 2 panels. I would frame it up in Telescopius, probably first, noting down the best way to do this really is, I guess, is to just try and show you. So, using plan mode on ASIR, you can import a set of custom coordinates. You know what I mean? So you can use Telescopius. This is a website here, you can go through, pick out targets you want to shoot. So I'm just going to select something. It's not the target you're after. And then you can go through the process of framing it, right, like this. So this is the current field of view that we're working with tonight. Let's say once you've got your field of view how you want it, so you're moving it around, whatever, there it is, you get this readout at the bottom. It will read out wherever your mouse is pointing. So take your mouse off the screen, note down those J2000 coordinates right there, and then import those directly into your ASIR. I think there is a way you can import things directly, but I just don't know how to do it, so I can't help with that one, unfortunately. And also there is multiple surveys available on this, so you can actually change the visible survey to one that might show things better for you. I've no idea. I've never really found the need to do it, to be honest, but DSS2 red might show some background stuff better. So that could help you even more with framing unexpected parts of the sky. Hope that helps you out there, mate. Marianne, should I say? Let's just see. We're nearly there. Something odd pops up after wait, batch pre-processing a strange rainbow gradient. Have you taken flats, Luca? That can sometimes cause issues if your flats aren't well matched. Are we still live? Oh dear. See what's going on. Okay, so we still have net access. What has occurred? Oh, we are still live. Goodness gracious me. Sorry guys, I thought we'd lost everything then. Right. Too far behind in chat to see us. Sorry about that guys. Evening Luke, that's a fierce haircut. Thank you mate. Yeah, we're just trying to catch up the last few bits and then oops. All it unfortunately for me. I'm gonna leave scopes running but I need to be with the boy, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sound downtrodden about that. I want to be with the boy. You know what I mean? It's great. It's a really good time. But yeah, unfortunately, that probably does mean slightly shorter live stream sessions for the foreseeable. I didn't want to miss out, by the way. So, what happened? Did it all go off, or I'm just going to catch up with chat live for a second? So it's all working. Got lost as to whether we are live. Hopefully, the person who asked about framing got to see what I showed them using Telescopius. Yeah. It's thrown me off. We'll get there. Thanks, appreciated. Brilliant. So people have been giving you help there. AAA keen. That's lovely. Yeah. Whoever gifted me a membership, thank you very much. We've had a few. Jenny X, yeah, we have, mate. It's been an unbelievable night tonight. The amount of support has been out of this world. Terrible pun for an astronomy channel, but it really has. This is where I was. Rainbow gradient. In Nina, where does it show you the time to meridian flip? I'll show you, Gareth. I will show you, mate. If I just crack open Nina, Framing Wizard should show you. Once you got your target loaded in here, there's a line in the middle, and that'll tell you when it's going to go past meridian, basically. And the target, rather than ascending, then begins to descend. Of course, and that's where I'd look for it. I think there is another spot, you know, mate, that tells you. But, quite frankly, meridian. Meridian in 3 hours and 15 minutes, 22 seconds. So that'll tell you as well, right there. Lucky that I refound that, wasn't it? I got myself a little bit lost there. Right, let's get caught up. We are doing it. We are there, guys. I really am sorry it takes me so long to get through these chat messages, but equally, I just want you to feel like if you do leave a message that I will get to it. You know what I mean? And hopefully be able to answer whatever you're asking, or just say hello back if that's all you wanted to do. It's all wonderful. Let's see. Definitely AM5N, not the AM5. Yes. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're both great mounts, but you know, if you've got the choice, I'd never put someone off buying a used AM5, by the way, because they're bloody wonderful. But if you have got the choice to get either an AM5 or an AM5N, just go for the N. It is better. Only 43 likes. What's the cause? Nah, I'm joking. It's brilliant, guys. Thank you for hitting like, whoever has, on the stream. It does help. I hope people watch these things back as well once they're done sometimes. That is how I consume all my stream related content these days too. I don't know about anybody else. I rarely catch them live, so it's nice that they go up as a video on demand afterwards. Gotta go. Great live stream, great chats. Good night. Hey, thank you, mate. I really appreciate you jumping in. Just going from imaging M78. What are we up to? 3 things on the go, mate. 3 rigs. So ASIA rig is shooting M81, M82. I'm shooting the same target, but with the Edge HD 11 Hyperstar rig for like comparison between the two. And then the one we see right here, the Rosette Nebula and the Cone Nebula, and all the interconnecting gubbins that's going on between them. We're shooting that on the 3rd rig. My Kidn't Dream portable setup. Thank you again, by the way, Chris and Pete, of course, and everybody else who's been incredibly, incredibly kind tonight. Can't thank you enough. Kidn't Dream portable set was an 18-inch dob, and a D-rotator. Have you seen the Skywatcher? What are they called now? The Starliners? Stargate? Or something like that. The absolutely mammoth Dobsonians with Go 2 and stuff. They look incredible. They've got like filleted primary mirrors as well, so you're not just got this huge massive glass that will never reach equilibrium throughout a night. Instead it's like a thin plate, then with ribs along the back, so it will cool a hell of a lot faster because there's just a lot less mass to cool and a higher amount of surface area as well. They look pretty good. If I wanted a dream Dobsonian, it'd probably be one of those. Not even huge Dobs are a piece of piss to assemble. Use my phone, mate. Right. Got you. Brilliant. Thank you, Sean. Evening, Luke, says Peter Turner. Ball 3 to 4 here in Southern Ireland. Imaging jellyfish last night. Good target, mate. Yeah, I'd love to take a shot at that, to be honest. Hopefully before seasons go too far, you know what I mean, and we lose opportunity this year. I would like to take a shot of it. Watching while in my Opsy. That's brilliant. Whittle Astro. Love it. Recently fitted some safety rain sensors. Hope I never need to test them. I hope so as well, mate. Geraldo Carrier. Brother, I wish I have half your knowledge. That's kind of you, mate. You really know how to work in PixInsight. You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. Bucket list for my 50th birthday, says Mike, was 2-week trip to Chile, including the Atacama Desert. Big time Milky Way and Orion. Wow, yeah, that would... I can only imagine what that would have been like, mate. Crikey. That is that not like the darkest place on the planet, pretty much? Atacama Desert. You'll read this in half an hour or so. Oh no, I'm sorry, mate. I'm glad that's useful to you though. Yeah, try to loosen it up. It's just a tiny touch, Pim. It really is, and that should take care of all the binding that remains. At least it always did for me, time after time. I'm having some fog going on. How's your imaging session going? We appear to also be having some blooming issues. I've just noticed on my second screen. Hang on. Let's try to Skycam. Suspiciously, we can only see 2 stars on the screen. Don't know if you can make those out. One of which is probably Mars, to be honest, so not even a star. Could be in trouble, guys. We will see. As I say, I'll be wrapping things up in a minute. I've got to go, unfortunately. It's been a bloody pleasure, though. Thank you to everybody who's joined in tonight. Relatability and presentation is something only a few astrophotography channels do well. That would draw more viewers. Yeah, gotta agree, mate. If you to the chap who's starting our new channel, like I say, just be yourself. Don't try and be some presenter or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because while it can absolutely be the right way to do things, I just don't think it's what I'm looking for. At least when I'm watching a YouTube channel, I want to watch you. Do you know what I mean? That's my way of thinking about it. The channels that I enjoy the most, just for example, I know this is just a me thing, and undoubtedly some people will agree, some won't, but I'd really much rather just have someone who I can vibe with a little bit, for want of a better word, rather than it being just like surgical precision all the time and concise phrasing and sentencing. Nah, man, just give me some mess. That's what I'm looking for. It's much more relatable. It feels like you're listening to or talking to a person. That's my take. Oh, crikey. Got to go now, mate. Well, thank you, Sean. You're an absolute superstar. And Pim gifted 5 memberships as well. Unbelievable. As I've said, guys, and I really... We'll go heart to heart for this, hand on heart, and I mean it. Thank you. The amount of support you guys have given from me starting my channel, going back to that chap there, is it's been just unfathomable. I would have never in my wildest dreams expected anything like I've experienced. It's been unbelievable. It really, really has, and I feel so lucky to be able to do this. And it is all thanks to you. So yeah, I don't want to lose sight of that fact. I really would like to be able to thank you better, but as it is, all I can give you is just my thanks, like this. And I hope you get the gist that I really do bloody mean it. Thank you. We are nearly caught up. What's your opinion on the Esprit 80? I've recently got one and it's damn sharp. Cracking scope, mate. Yep, really, really like it. So I'm sure you're gonna have some fun with that. You got yourself a time lapse. Yeah, I did indeed, unfortunately, didn't I, mate? I think we caught up. I saw that, yeah. Fierce haircut. Ed Hall, by the way, evening to you too, sir. Good evening, Luke. It says Ian. Evening, Ian. Stargazing Hall, or should we call you the last of the Mohicans? Or the monikers. One hell of a haircut, mate. Thank you, mate. +1 for Meteo Blue. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, it's been a few people saying that. I wonder why when I typed "Are we still here?" just "are" came through. We were clearly having some issues, weren't we? Prior commitment to the local society observatory for the general public. We were busy. Just no imaging for me. Goes like that sometimes, I guess, Rob, but it's a good thing you're doing there, mate. Good on you. Good on you. Getting more people into it is key. It's great to feel connected. Well, I'm glad you get that from it, guys. I really am. That's what I want. Do you know what I mean? I'm not anybody else. I'm just me, so why not be myself? On camera, now I can. Couldn't always, do you know what I mean? It was very uncomfortable to talk on camera when I first started out, but now it is what it is. It's just like I'm talking to you. Everything working. Thanks again. Brilliant. BX, yes, Stephen, it is, mate, innit? Oh, what a cracking piece of kit that is. BlurXTerminator 3. NoiseXTerminator. I'll get there. Yes. Caught up just about. AM5 saved my aching back. 100% understand on that one. First time visitor, northern Minnesota, winter's bite, says Frank. I can only imagine, mate, yeah. Like your data packs for refining my processing skills. That's just really good to hear, Frank. I like including them so people can work on the exact data that I am doing, you know what I mean? I think it's probably key, at least for my hazard at calling it teaching, but you know, my teaching method, if you like, I think kind of relies on it. In a way that we can look at the same problem together, you on your screen, me on mine, and just kind of tackle it. Seems to make sense anyway. Nice haircut, says Tazesh. Thank you, mate. I have to go and pick up dinner now, says Milkman. Thank you again for your support again. By the way, mate, really, really appreciate it. I hope you still be on when I get back. If not, I hope you have a very good night, my friend. Thank you, mate. I hope you have a cracking dinner. As I will be gone, unfortunately. Lazy Astro, Clear Skies. Clear Skies, mate. Hello from Greece. How's it going? Thank you again, Sean. And we are caught up. We've caught up. How about that? Sorab, unfortunately, mate, you are late to the party as it happens. I would normally be live for longer than this, but I've got to go, mate. You know what I mean? Some father-son time is a calling. So yeah, let's crack on with that. Right. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for the support tonight, guys. Absolutely can't thank you enough. I appreciate you. That's all there is to it. Looking forward to another live stream. Hopefully soon. More videos coming up. We'll be sharing some of this data that we're capturing. So it's not just going to be at a distance. You're going to be able to have a play with it yourself if you should wish to do so. It's always a bit of fun, isn't it? So yeah. Lots to look forward to. Lots to do. All we need is some clear skies with which to do it. So yeah. I'm going to try and make the most of tonight though. Leave these rigs running as long as I possibly can. Yeah. I still feel awkward on camera, but not nearly as bad as my first couple of times. I were exact same, mate. It will go. It will go. Just keep cracking away at it. And you'll be absolutely fine, mate. Like anything in it, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. Go from there. Like if you haven't. Yeah, appreciate the likes, guys. Thank you. Did you go for Thor's helmet? Mate, I saw your comment. I'm so sorry. We didn't. No, I had a pre-planned object for this one. I do want to hit it sometime though, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. Right, cracking, guys. I've overstayed. I'll catch you all later. And again, like I say, and I reiterate, thank you. I really do mean it. I appreciate you coming and spending your time with me. It means a lot. And it makes it so much more enjoyable for me. And hopefully it's enjoyable for you too. Yeah, cracking. Looking forward to seeing you in the future one. Bless guys.